The man was just about to open the door to pick up his food delivery, but he never expected to find two robbers standing outside. At that moment, his pregnant wife Daisy was relaxing on the couch, but when she saw her husband being held at gunpoint, she was completely stunned, and quickly asked her husband Sean what was happening. But the robber rudely ordered her to turn off the TV. When Daisy struggled to find the remote, the robber immediately pulled back the gun's slide. Seeing this, Sean quickly handed over his wallet, but after the female robber searched through their wallets, she found there wasn't much money inside. After all, this was an upscale neighborhood in the suburbs, and anyone living here clearly wasn't struggling financially, so the robbers demanded that the couple hand over their watches and rings. But Daisy was so nervous that she couldn't get her ring off. The robber then pulled out a knife and asked Daisy if she needed help. Seeing that Daisy forced herself to remove her wedding ring, the robber then continued questioning them about what other valuables they had. When Sean said they had nothing else, the robber immediately struck Sean with the butt of his gun. After being hit, Sean finally revealed that there was a safe in his office, and there might be something valuable inside. The robber told his partner to stay behind, while he followed Sean into the study. He then opened the safe. However, there was still nothing valuable inside, but the careful robber noticed a large bank certificate. This instantly excited the robber, because it showed a balance of a full $250,000. Sure enough, anyone living here had money. The robber then handed the certificate to his partner, and told him that he had found it. Sean then said he could write them a check, and they could simply go to the bank and cash it. But no one would believe that, not even a fool. So the robbers started discussing what to do next. His partner told him that if they wanted to get the money safely, there was only one way. It was Friday and the bank was already closed. They would have to wait until Monday when the bank reopened, then have Sean withdraw the cash himself and hand it over to them. Although the plan was risky, thinking about the huge amount of $250,000, the robber still agreed to the plan. After putting his mask back on, the robber told the couple about their decision. Seeing that Sean was cooperating, the robber asked where the alarm and emergency buttons were, and had his partner take their phones, while also cutting off the home's Wi-Fi. He then sat down and asked them whether anyone would come to visit them over the weekend, but just as Sean swore that no one would come, the doorbell suddenly rang. The robbers immediately became nervous. In a panic, Daisy quickly explained that it was just the food delivery she had ordered. She kept swearing that they were telling the truth, trying to convince the robbers. After calming down, the robber quickly told them to stay quiet. Then he handed Sean a handkerchief and told him to wipe the blood off his face. He also put a hat on Sean to cover up the injury. Then he pointed the gun and walked to the door with Sean. Meanwhile, the female robber stood in front of Daisy, in case Sean tried to do anything reckless. When the door opened, the delivery driver was standing outside. Sean showed no signs of anything unusual. He simply took the pizza calmly. When the delivery driver pointed out the wound on his head, Sean explained that he had accidentally fallen. Seeing the delivery driver leave, the robbers finally breathed a sigh of relief. They then took the couple down to the basement. The robber told them that as long as they cooperated, they would be gone for good after Monday. Then he locked the door tightly. Daisy was terrified and began crying where she stood. She couldn't understand why this had happened to them. Seeing this, Sean quickly comforted his wife. Fortunately, the two of them soon managed to calm down. Then Daisy remembered that she still had a security camera. The camera was originally meant for the baby's room. It was so that after their child was born, they could monitor the baby's condition at any time. But at that moment, the two robbers were not in that room, so Daisy didn't notice anything unusual. Since there wasn't even a pillow in the basement, the two had no choice but to hold each other and fall asleep. But when the next day arrived, a sound suddenly came from the security camera, waking the couple up. From the robbers' conversation, they learned that the two robbers had just been released from prison. To make sure no one found out what happened, they decided that after getting the money, they would kill the couple to silence them. Daisy was filled with extreme fear after hearing this. Seeing that his wife's emotions were about to collapse, Sean quickly hugged his frightened wife and comforted her. He told her that the robbers didn't know they had a camera, and since they hadn't seen the robbers' faces, they wouldn't pose any threat to them. But Daisy still felt uneasy. She wanted Sean to find a way to save themselves quickly, because they couldn't let the robbers decide whether they lived or died. After hearing Daisy's words, Sean suddenly remembered the basement door's spare key, which was inside a kitchen cabinet upstairs. But right now there was no way for them to get out. However, just as they were discussing what to do, a noise suddenly came from outside the door. Daisy quickly put the security camera into the washing machine. Then the female robber walked in carrying a pizza. It turned out to be the breakfast the robbers had prepared for them. Thinking about the spare key upstairs, Sean quickly approached the female robber and tried to negotiate. He said he had a plan that could help her keep making money, but the fewer people who knew about it, the safer it would be. So Sean wanted to go upstairs and discuss it with both of them. However, the female robber had no interest in it. She warned Sean not to try anything. Then she left the basement. After Daisy kept asking him questions, Sean finally revealed that he wanted to use his identity as a doctor to help the robbers sell prescription drugs for profit. Daisy thought Sean had gone crazy after hearing that. But besides that, Sean couldn't think of any better way to get upstairs. So he opened the juice and pizza first, hoping his wife could eat something to ease her hunger. But Daisy suddenly rushed to the door and started banging on it. She suddenly remembered that she had made plans with her friend Mela, for Mela to come over at 9 a.m. on Saturday. If Mela showed up, everything would be over. Hearing the noise, the robber rushed in with a gun. After hearing Daisy's explanation, the robber told her to call her friend Mela. But there was no signal at all in the basement. So the robber made Sean stay in the basement and let Daisy come upstairs alone. At the same time, he pointed his gun at Daisy to stop her from secretly sending a message to her friend. But as soon as Daisy got through the call and said only a few words, Mela said she had already arrived at Daisy's front door. At that moment, Daisy immediately realized a life or death psychological battle had begun.